Guys, on this quick video, I want to give you the 24 laws of money. 24 principles or rules of money that you can hang your hat on. Law number 1, money is more important than time. Think of it like this. If I said I was going to give you $1 million, you'd probably take it. But if I told you that $1 million, you can get it, but you're going to die in an hour. You're going to be out of time. You can't pass the money on to anybody else. Would you still take the money? Probably not. Because intuitively, subconsciously, we know that money is not nearly as valuable as time. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. Now, the second law of money is if you want more, you have to give more. Giving is a principle of wealth that most people just don't talk about as much as we probably should. Let me know in the comments below if you're a giver and you like to give, love to give. Let me know in the comments below. Now, the third law of money is that money is attracted to value. Your value to the marketplace is what really determines your income. If you want to increase your income, you must increase the value that you bring to the marketplace. How do you do that? You get new skills. You get higher paying skills. You become the best at the skill that you already have and have acquired. Or you simply become much better at the skills that other people need. See, it's not about what you think your value is. It's about what people and businesses are actually willing to pay you for your skill and for the value that you bring them. Let me stop right here and just share this about myself. There are a lot of new people to this channel, and I just want to give you a little information about myself. My journey from financial hardship to financial freedom. Really, that journey is about motivation and inspiration to other people to say that if I did it, you can do it too. I grew up poor. Very poor. I'm the youngest of 5 children. By the time I was 10 years old, my parents had separated. I graduated high school with poor grades. In fact, my first full year of going to a local community college, I had a 1.75 GPA. I just wasn't focused. But I knew in the back of my mind that if I put my mind to it, I could be anything. So when I was about 20 years old, I decided, you know what, I want to be a school teacher. But in order to be a school teacher, I got to get a 4-year degree and I got to transfer to a 4-year school. So I have to bring my 1.75 GPA up to 2.5. So over the course of the next 3 semesters in a row, I made straight A's. And I brought my 1.75 academic probation GPA up to 2.55. And I got into a 4-year school and I got my bachelor's degree with a 3.3 GPA by the time I was 24 years old. And I became a school teacher. Now, over the next 7 years when I was teaching school, I amassed a 500 credit score and I had a negative $30,000 net worth by the time I was 30 years old. I had lived in a bunch of apartments all my life, and so guess what? From the time I graduated college till I got to be 30 years old, I was in apartment after apartment after apartment, and I didn't have any money. So I was really just repeating the past until I made a conscious decision around the age of 29 or so to make some changes. I started seeing real estate. I said, I want to invest in real estate. So when I was 30 years old, I bought my first piece of rental property and I bought my primary residence for the first time. Now, backtracking, back when I was 18, I had my son when I was 18 years old. And at some points during my 20s, I was a single dad where I was raising my son by myself. But by the time I reached 30 and I got my own pieces of property and so forth and started changing my financial life and financial mindset, that's when I got married at the age of 30. And a year or 2 later, I joined my local church and I started going to church and I started tithing and giving and helping other people and understanding that the world was bigger than just me. So I ended up around the age of 31, I evaluated my situation in terms of personal finances, responsibilities, and I changed my financial habits and my financial or money mindset totally shifted. So I embarked on a journey of self-education, of discipline, and of consistency. And more importantly than almost anything, management of my money. So over the years, I diversified my income streams. I kept putting money towards my job's retirement plan. I stayed with my real estate, although I had some rocky moments with real estate around 2008, 2010, 2012, like a lot of people. But I got super focused and I started building habits that changed the rest of my life with money. Ultimately, my commitment to financial literacy and empowering myself with my money led me ultimately to create the Smart Money Bro brand in about 2017. And by 2021, I had a Smart Money Bro YouTube channel. And around that time, we became millionaires. So on this channel, I offer relatable, practical money advice that's really aimed at helping ordinary, regular people like me become extraordinary with their personal finances. And now, not only do I have a YouTube channel, but I also provide one-on-one financial mentoring and coaching to other people who want to win with money. And since I started Smart Money Bro, my mission has never changed. It's always been the same. And that is to empower people to take control over their money and build a strong, solid financial foundation so that they can secure their financial future. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go to the fourth law of money. The fourth law of money is working smarter is working harder. See, you have to be strategic. That means using a plan, utilizing your resources wisely, connecting to the right people at the right time, being innovative, creative, trying new things, defying the odds that were placed against you based on your past, and doing things with money despite fear, taking educated risk and measuring risk on a regular basis with all that you do with your money. See, a lot of people work very hard physically, but very, very few people think hard and strategize. Because in the long run, guys, you make more money with your brain than you can using your muscles. Now, the fifth law of money. Anything you mismanage, you're gonna lose. Most people really don't have a money problem. Most people really have a management problem. Think about it like this. We come to this world with nothing. We're gonna leave this world with nothing. We're not taking anything necessarily to our afterlife. I don't know what you believe spiritually, but I don't believe we're taking anything with us to the afterlife, right? And so therefore, while we're here, we're simply managing the things that we come in contact with. Our money, our relationships, our stuff, etc. And if you don't take care of those things, you will lose it. Now, the sixth law of money is that labor is a wealth building commodity. See, your labor by itself can make you millions. But when you leverage the power of other people's labor, it can make you a fortune. A proper understanding and the use of other people's labor has a strong compounding effect on your personal finances. This is why many of the most richest people on the planet got that way because of starting a business. Now, the seventh law of money is the less you need, the less you want. See, the wealthiest person is not the person who has the most stuff and the most money. The wealthiest person is the person who really needs the least. Building real wealth is not about having and hoarding and carrying a lot of expensive stuff. Real wealth is about never really needing expensive stuff. Now, the eighth law of money is that money is amoral. Money is neither good nor bad. Money really has no soul and no intentions, other than the intentions of the person who's using or has the money. If you want to do good in this world, money will help you. And if you want to do bad in this world, money will also help you. The ninth law of money is that money is not to be worshipped, ever. Worshipping and chasing after money, a get-rich-quick scheme or a quick buck, it will cause you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. So don't chase money. And whatever you do, don't chase the people who have the most money. Because ultimately, if you chase the people that have the most money, you'll end up worshiping them. The 10th law of money is your money is your responsibility. You are where you are financially today, right now, as you watch this video, based on you, your behaviors, your habits, since you've been an adult. So remember, taking responsibility over your personal finances puts you in full control of the solutions. Responsibility is a superpower. The 11th law of money is that money is a tool, not a purpose. There are many, many tools in the toolbox of building wealth, right? Some other critical tools might be your connections, the people you know, your time, your good health, your education, your skills, your experience and experiences, right? The information you know, the discipline you have, the consistency you have, the self-control you have, compound interest, appreciating assets, and so on and so on. There's a lot of tools in the toolbox to building wealth. Money is only one of those tools. So think of money kind of like a hammer in a toolbox. The hammer's a tool. The hammer's not the whole toolbox. The 12th law of money is take money advice from people who actually have money. Now, that law does not mean that you follow rich people simply because they're rich. Everyone who has money is not necessarily rich. There are many people who are not rich, but they have money. And there are people who have no money, but they look rich. They act rich. They seem rich. They have rich people's possessions, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have money. Now, the 13th law of money is that money is supposed to make more money. One of the primary functions of money is to make more money. See, money depreciates in value due to inflation. So you want to take money that's going down in value and flip it over and multiply it to make more money. Therefore, you've got to invest money to increase money. So everyone listening to the sound of my voice, you should be an employer. Yeah, you may be an employee working for somebody else right now and making somebody else wealthy, but every time you get a paycheck, you need to morph into an employer and take that money and send it out to go make money for you as an employee of you. And that way, yeah, you may be an employee somewhere and work for somebody, but you're employing your money to go work for you. Why? Because money is supposed to make more money. Now, the 14th law of money is that the borrower is slave to the lender. The rich rule over the poor. Credit cards, personal loans, student loans, mortgages, none of those things changes this core principle. Because whenever you borrow money, I don't care if you've leveraged money to be a multimillionaire, whenever you borrow money, it places you in a position of leverage on one end because you may be using that borrowed money to build up your wealth. But on the other end, you're really, at the end of the day, just a subject to the lender. Keyword, subject. Remember, medieval Europe, the subjects were always underneath the queen or the king. So when you're a borrower, you're subject to the lender. Now, the 15th law of money is the best person to take care of the old you is the young you, right? Not your kids, not your grandkids, not the government, not the president, not your city council member, not your mayor or your governor, right? Not the long-term care facility necessarily, right? No one is financially going to take care of you, the old you, better than the person you are today. So be thinking about your old self all the time, because your old self needs to buy groceries. Your old self needs a roof over their head. Your old self needs shoes on their feet and clothes on their back. And the best person who's going to take care of that person is you, the you today. Now, the 16th law of money is the people who have money are the people who focused on the money. See, you'll never properly manage or grow anything that you don't focus on. See, you go out to the grass and you throw some seeds out in the grass. Well, guess what? If you never focus on those seeds, you've lessened the chance for those seeds to really germinate and grow. But if you spend some time focusing on those seeds that you dropped in that ground, watering it, making sure it gets sunlight, whatever you got to do to it, right? Feeding it, whatever fertilizer you need to feed it. If you spend time focusing on those seeds, that seed has much more chance to grow. Your money is the same way. Financial growth is really a result of financial focus. Now, the 17th law of money is long-term money requires long-term thinking, vision, imagination, dreams, hope, and the ability to see something that's not right there in front of you. See, if you have no vision for the future, the chances are you'll still be right where you are right now, except transport yourself over to the future. So people that win with money, they usually are people that can see things that aren't physically there in front of them. They can look down the line and see things long term and see things for the possibility of what could be. Now, the 18th law of money is that rich and wealth are two entirely separate things. Anybody can get rich. You can win the lottery tomorrow and get rich, but you have to build and sustain a level of wealth. Now, the 19th law of money is that money cannot solve problems that exist because of each human's free will. In other words, the poor will always be among us, right? You've heard that saying before. Well, why is that? Why will the poor always remain among us? Well, the poor will always remain among us because people have choices. People have a free will. They can choose to or choose not to. And as long as people can choose to do something or choose not to do something, the poor will always be among us. See, money will not erase the lack of ambition, the lack of drive, the lack of discipline, the lack of consistency, the lack of desire, the lack of enthusiasm, right? Like money cannot change those things, right? Like you can give people as much money as you want to give them. But at some point, because we have free will and people can do what they want to do, ultimately, money doesn't solve poverty. Throwing money at a situation doesn't necessarily solve a problem. And it's just not a long-term solution to the problem of poverty. If you agree or disagree with that, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you on that one. Now, the 20th law of money is that money is not an indicator of character. In other words, money or the lack of money doesn't determine a person's integrity or a person's good or bad character or a person's level of morality. Whether a person has money or doesn't have money has nothing to do with character. Some rich people are bad, some rich people are good. Some poor people are bad, some poor people are good. Now, the 21st law of money is that money you put in a pool from lots of different areas and lots of different places, when you pool money, it's going to go further, quicker than your individual money. In other words, you can build more faster if you put your money with others' money, right? Because when you pool money together, it builds a capital base faster and stronger. Now, the 22nd law of money is separate money from emotions. In order to be successful with money, you have to learn the art of separating emotions from money. Why? Because emotions tend to cloud good financial decision making. Whether we're talking buying a piece of real estate, investing in stocks, or just simply whether or not to loan a friend $100. When you tie in emotion and money, that's where problems happen. Now, the 23rd law of money is that the fastest way to have more money is to spend less money, because your expenses, all of our expenses, are largely, and for the most part, our choice. We have options when it comes to how we want to spend our money. Now, whether or not we choose to exercise those options is a personal choice, but it doesn't negate the fact that we do have options, right? And that most of our expenses is a result of our choice. See, most people focus on increasing their income, and very few people focus on reducing their expenses to a level that makes a significant difference. Now, the 24th and final law of money is simply this: money does not equal happiness. Our job is to always put money in its proper place and not tie our happiness to money, right? Because money is just an emotion. It's like being angry, being mad, being sad. So the 24th law is to not associate money with happiness, right? People think that money can make them happy, but really the truth is you have the ability to choose joy whether you have money or you don't have money. See, money is an emotion. Joy is a choice. So don't tie your happiness to money. Guys, that's my 24 laws of money. In the description of this video below, get your free copy of the ebook, The 24 Laws of Money. I hope this video was helpful, but they're the rules of money, the 24 laws of money that help me build my wealth. Do me a favor, smash that like button below and share these 24 laws of money with at least 2 people that you know. Until the next video, peace.